So hello and welcome everybody. Today we have both the Dagas in the house.
Hi, I'm here, privileged to be with Shreyaan, who I've known since he was a toddler. Swimming सामने हमारे सामने है, swimming सीखा है, सब कुछ किया है. So yeah.
Absolutely. So those who don't know, we are related somehow. दूर के
Yes.
रिश्तेदार हैं. But let's talk about the main topic which we're here for today, which is Nashermiles. And we all our students would like to know, कैसे चालू हुआ? What was the first step? As a child, if I want to start, what can I do to start a company like Nashermiles?
So, for any company, I would like to say, whether it's Nashermiles, OLL, etc., all these companies, please remember, you have to, really want to do something. Don't do it just because I've done it or Shreyaan has done it. He's done it at an amazingly young age. No, it's okay. Even if it doesn't have to be right now, it can be later. But whenever you do it, whatever you do, just put your heart and soul into it. I think that is what is important. That is where you see, even at Nashermiles, the way we have slowly, grown consistently over time. What Shreyaan has done, you all are seeing his success now. It didn't come in 6 months. I think he has been involved for 6-7 years before that, even as a child, doing something little bit, and that's how it's built up, right? And you also must have seen a lot of challenges, ups and downs. So this happens. So yeah, do not lose hope. Give your full, and you will succeed. There's no doubt about it. All of you are super smart kids. Yeah.
Absolutely. We were just talking, and before this, you said that business में सबसे important चीज एक है कि accounts and finance manage करना बहुत जरूरी है.
Yeah, I think bottom line of any business, is it's a capitalist society we are all in. Bottom line is profit, and the way you will get your profit is ensuring that your numbers, your accounts are in place, finance are in place. Two ways you can make money, right? I mean, two ways profit is there. One is by making money, and the other is by saving. You have to not only look at your top line, what you call top line, like your sales, etc., but you also have to control your expenses. So both are equally important. And if you have a handle on these things, I think your business will do well.
Just to be clear, top line means revenue and bottom line means profit.
Yeah.
And for those who want to understand a little bit more, कि revenue में भी काफी सारे divisions होते हैं, which everybody who has not learned finance before would not know. So in Nashermiles, there are multiple products, multiple categories. So do you divide your revenue?
Of course, we have multiple product lines. So we deal in luggage, as you all know, luggage and backpacks. We have hard luggage, which is majority of our product lines. Then we have some portion of soft luggage, and we have backpacks, which we are increasing now. But primarily, hard luggage forms the major portion of our portfolio. While we do have internal cost centers, profit centers for each of these divisions, so it just cost center, profit centers doesn't have to be only on by product line. It can also be by product, by channel, by sales channel. So, for example, I want to know. So we sell on our own website. We sell on Amazon, Flipkart, other platforms. Now we are also selling in stores. Corporate gifting. So there are different channels you sell in. Sales channels. So we also have a P&L for each channel to see who is performing how.
Okay. So, how did you decide your unit economics and how much how can someone price the product? मुझे इतना margin रखना चाहिए. When we're starting off, I know my costs, but how do I price it? On what basis? And then how do I?
So step one. So what you have is called COGS. Okay, it's cost of goods sold. So you have a certain product, right? Next, you will add to it are your certain fixed costs, like in terms of that's for the margin, your first level of margin. It will be for your warehousing, for the commissions that you pay, etc., etc. These are fixed costs are there. That's your first level of cost. Then you add to it, you build up on it. Will be your cost related to your marketing. So marketing is key. Without marketing, you're not going to get anywhere. So some portion of it has to be towards your, marketing, whether it's performance marketing, brand marketing, etc. That's your next level of cost. So you add. So you have cost plus 1 plus 2. So these are called contribution margins. So your contribution margin 1, 2, and then you have your number 3, which is your. Finally, you will come to your other costs. Where salary, corporate expenses, etc. These are the costs that you have. So you have A, B, C, D, E. You join, and then you have your final how much profit you want to do. Now, how much profit you should keep, what pricing you need to do. I think a lot of it you need to do market research of your competition. So unless you are offering a product which is absolutely unique, which today you may be a first mover, somebody else will obviously come. But if you're something ordering where prices are attractive, you can price it whatever you want.
Right.
But otherwise, the best way is if you have a product, see what your competitors selling it at. That will give you an idea. If a product is available for 100 rupees in the market, and then you work your cost, like I said,
Yeah.
what's your procurement cost, then you add all these costs which are going to be there, and you will be able to judge the feasibility of your project or your business idea. Of course, your sales will not come in first day, first month, first year. It will take time.
Right.
So it's like certain costs. For example, if you have this office, right, it will be a fixed cost from day one, whether you sell one product or 1,000 products. If you have your accounts team or your staff, office staff, it will be a fixed cost. It doesn't matter what you sell. So I think linked to this, the advice is do not burden your new business or fledgling business with cost from day one. If it
Fixed
means
cost.
starting from home, starting at some shared office, starting from home, this is the way to go about it slowly, and then as you're very confident, as your numbers are increasing, as things are promising, then you start increasing your cost.
Makes sense. So मतलब for everybody out here, the fixed cost we should keep it low in the initial years.
You should keep it low throughout.
Okay.
As much as possible. Keep your costs. I'm not saying compromise on things, but try not to burden yourself with costs. Overall.
मतलब अगर sales नहीं आया तो भी company चलनी चाहिए. That should be the
thing. There will always be cycles, ups and downs. So you need to have projections. How things are, and so it's cyclical, right? Your cost you cannot do on a day-to-day basis costing and revenue, because some days sales will be there less, some days will be more. You will notice trends like during Diwali period or Independence Day there will be more orders. So you have to apportion it all over. I think one of the key things, the tools which people need to do. Unfortunately, I'm not that good at it, but I need to picking up over time is for your projections, for everything. Learn Excel. Do Excel it's a very powerful tool, and any business owner or founder should know and should be able to work with that. One of the other things which we learned, and I think you'll be able to agree that nowadays a lot of us start businesses with partners. It's very important. One person can only do so much. You need to have the right partners who are able to contribute, complementing skill sets. One may be strong in marketing, one may be strong in operations, somebody in sales. All come together. That said, while you are doing that, just make sure that your agreements with your partners, etc., is all very crystal clear, concrete. So then, as you grow, as you scale, there are no problems.
So your partner is your brother. So do you have an agreement with your brother?
Oh yeah. So while we did not have a actually written on paper agreement when we started, it was principally agreed that this is what
you will handle.
You will handle, and this is what our share would be. Okay. It was very clear. Wow. So once that is clear, things are very smooth, and it shouldn't be left on चलो start करते हैं बाद में देखेंगे. From day one, keep things very clear.
Day one, you had kept capital was clear कि हमें ये करना है.
Principally, things were all clear.
Makes sense. Actually, the main part in finance is clarity.
Yes.
To have that key, and it's a journey. When you start creating your own MIS, you start creating your own balance sheet and P&L statement. Then you start learning about your business from the numbers more than someone can teach you from the feedback and all also.
Correct. So I think, like I said, there's so much to do. We are only touching on one aspect, which is on the finance, marketing, finance side, account side. I said that's a very fundamental building block.
मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आता जो आजकल के काफी सारे startups हैं, they are burning funds of investors.
So burning is not necessarily, like I said, right? There will always be fixed costs, and then there will always be variable costs. So one has to have clarity that yes, initially there will be burn, but it's the idea of building something which will result in something big later on, right? So that is why they are burning.
Initially,
what I'm saying is differentiate between burning, or rather I would say investing, versus one should not waste money. Like for example, as I told you, right, there is you are in an office. You don't have to have your office in a BKC or Nariman Point in day one. It's okay. Start small, then grow big from there. Then you move step A to B to C. You keep moving slowly. Just keep a good control on your costs.
What is the fundraising journey for a student who wants to, for example, now they have built a certain level? Should they start raising funds from before? Should they start raising funds after they have built?
Do you need funds?
That's the biggest question.
Yeah. If you need, then raise. If you do not need, then do not raise. Just don't raise because somebody else is raising money. And you're raising for what? Are you using it for business, or do you want it just to do experimentation, or just because people are raising, or just to burn, as you rightly said? So if there's a business need, raise money. Honestly, once you go into fundraising, right, the person at the other side of the table who's giving, they're a lot smarter, or rather, they've seen a lot more. So they will know whether you really need the money, or whether you are just doing it for the sake of it. And more importantly, what are you offering? They are going to look at what are you offering. At the end of the day,
Return on
like
investment.
any investment, right?
Yeah.
They want the return on investment. If you're able to show them that yes, you are giving that in return, they will invest. So initial stages, right? I think people bet on the founders more than the business because everyone knows what's on paper. A lot of changes will happen, external factors, etc. Is the founder going to be able to be true to his mission and be able to also change with time, as per the needs of the business, how things. Because any business to grow, to give returns, will take you 3-4 years at least, right? So a lot of changes will happen, which some within your control, some beyond your control. Are you able to adjust to that? So people want to see that spark in the founder, the honesty also in the founder. Okay, this person not going to run away with my, I'm going to blow up my money.
And the big trust factor बहुत important है.
Trust also, confidence also. So I would say there are two things you need, right, to offer. One is trust, of course, and do I trust you with my money? And B, do I have confidence in you that you will grow? You can be very trustworthy, but if you are not going to give me the confidence that okay, I'm going to grow the money, then why will I invest with you?
मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आता जो आजकल के काफी सारे स्टार्टअप्स हैं, they are burning funds of investors.
So burning is not necessarily, like I said, right? There will always be fixed costs, and then there will always be variable costs. So one has to have clarity that yes, initially there will be burn, but it's the idea of building something which will result in something big later on, right? So that is why they are burning.
Initially.
What I'm saying is differentiate between burning, or rather I would say investing versus one should not waste money. Like for example, as I told you, right? There is you want an office. You don't have to have your office in a BKC or Nariman Point in day one. It's okay. Start small, then grow big from there. Then you move. Step A to B to C, you keep.
To your investor, like all the 5 sharks invested in you. So how often does an investor interact with the founder? And also, what other kind of reports does a founder have to share with an investor?
So as far as in our case is concerned, right, all the 5 sharks, they have very small stake in it and they invest in multiple businesses. Please understand, they have very successful people, they have their own businesses, multiple businesses. They've given you a small amount, for them it's immaterial, right? Now it's up to you how much you want to get out of them. So you have to reach out to them, and they will definitely help you. So we have been interacting with some of them on a regular basis. They've been very helpful. Like literally direct, you can contact them. Hey, look, I am looking for so and so marketing person. What do you think? What should we look at? This is a resume. Can you take a look? They give their feedback.
Even that level.
Oh yeah. See, you have to reach out to them and say, look, because at the end of the day, they are there to help. But वो आपको आके रोज नहीं पूछेंगे. अरे मुझे बताओ क्या तकलीफ है, तुम ऐसा क्यों करो? No, neither are they going to interfere in the business because it's not worth their time, right? But yeah, if you reach out and say, look, I have this issue, or rather, tell me there's a marketing thing you want to do. Or for example, in our case, we are trying to do a lot of tie-ups with them, like with OYO, with talking to On's team, talking to Velika's team, Navita's team, and see how we can all work together.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, it can always, and not only that, so they have access to such a great ecosystem of other founders, other companies that are invested in. There's so much you can do to them. You have to reach out to them. As far as reports are concerned, so all this while on Shark Tank it happens, a lot of paperwork, etc. goes into place. The due diligence which happens. Then there are some conditions. It's fully documented. Like these are the things you have to fulfill before we give you money, which is called conditions precedent. It's called CP. Then there is a next step. After that also, there is something called condition subsequent. They said, okay, you do these things, we will give you the money. But in X amount of period, you also have to do certain things. You commit to do so and so.
These things as in like approximately, like what do you mean by what kind of conditions do you
So what happens is, as we start out, as companies, as founders, you must have also seen, as you start out, there are a lot of things which we feel we are doing correctly. But in terms of compliances, as far as government regulations are concerned, there are many departments, many things. Sometimes certain things which are cosmetic get left behind. But when an investor comes in, they say, you know what, you need better be clear, your paperwork needs to be proper. So that when anyone comes and checks, things are proper. So they say, check, make sure that for example, your secretarial compliances, from a company secretarial point of view are proper. Then they tell us that provide us a stock report of your existing stock, provide us your how much debts you have. So all those reports have to be provided.
All those things need to be given before taking the investment.
Whatever. So that is a mutual agreement. That these are the points I need done before I'll give you money. Now you show us you've done this. and then the next step would be they say, okay, these are points which are absolutely important. Without this, no money can come in. And post that will be conditions subsequent, which is okay. These are points which are not that important right now. Do your business, but in the next 3 months, 6 months, give me deadlines. You need to do, fulfill those conditions.
Do they also give revenue targets? Or
They do not give you revenue targets per se. They have invested with you based on the revenue projections you have given them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to grow to this level in so and so years, in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Yes, when you report your numbers, if those numbers are not matching,
The
they will ask you, okay,
yeah.
what happened? It's not like that. Berate your question. Okay, what happened? What went wrong? What was the reason why the numbers went down? So our round just closed actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when was it recorded?
So it was recorded on the 1st of December.
Okay.
Then some slowdown happened, a lot of back and forth happened, slowdown happened, and then we finally, like I said, a lot of paperwork.
Yeah,
It's not just like, here, take the check and go. Finally, we actually closed the agreement, or rather signed it around 3rd week of May.
Okay.
And the money came in around 3rd week of May to 1st week of June. And then the agreement was closed.
Wow. So around 6 months.
6 months, it can take 6 months, it can take 4 months also, 3 months also. In some cases, as less as a
month
week.
or two.
Yeah.
Actually, a week also.
In some cases, it can
Yeah.
happen.
Those are the best cases.
Yeah, depends. I feel a lot of these cases. So the good part is now people are building their companies, ensuring that all compliances are done from day one, because they know that this is what is going to be needed when an investor comes in. And so once you can do that part, like you make sure that your accounts, like I said again, accounts are clean, everything is proper, all taxes are paid, all returns are filed, whether it's GST, income tax, profession tax, PF, etc. Everything is proper. The other things they are looking at.
A few terms that I want to ask from a perspective of a student. GST, exactly what is it for a business? So
GST is indirect taxation. It is basically so taxation is two types: direct tax, which is the income tax and customs, and then of course you have your indirect taxation, which is shared between state and center. So GST is that. In GST, if you see, there's a component of CGST, which is the Central Goods and Services Tax, and then there's a SGST. So it's a tax. As we get to a finer nuances of taxation, it's a good thing. So basically, it's a value-added tax where you pay tax only on the value add that you have done. For example, if you have purchased raw material worth 100 rupees, you are paying 18 rupees tax on that. Now you are doing some good work on it, and then you are selling it ahead for 200 rupees plus the tax of 18%, which is 36 rupees. You have already paid that input tax 18% to the government. So only on the difference, you have to, only on the value add that you have done between this 100 and 200, you have to pay the tax.
Okay, makes sense. So the other 100 rupees से 200 rupees मैंने बेचा, तो 18 rupees extra.
Yes,
again,
आप कस्टमर को, आपके कस्टमर ने, आपके वेंडर ने आपको बिल किया 100 प्लस 18 118 रुपया, जहाँ पे GST रेट 18%. आपने वो चीज को 200 का बेचा आगे जाके, तो आप अपने कस्टमर से लोगे 200 प्लस 18%, which is 236. लेकिन वो 36 जो टैक्स है वो आपका कस्टमर आपको देगा, आपको गवर्नमेंट को जमा करना है. लेकिन उसमें 36 में आपने 18 ऑलरेडी दे दिया, तो बचा 18 आपको ही जमा करना है.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Then the other thing which we just spoke about is sorry, GST की बात आपने एक और
इनकम बहुत है.
नहीं
प्रोविडेंट फंड होता है, प्रोफेशन टैक्स होता है, PF. So provident fund is a compulsory thing by the government if you feel under certain. It's like something similar to, I guess the students you are talking to are probably more familiar with social security of US and all these countries. So it's like a social security for yourself. Government says you compulsorily have to invest a certain amount of money in provident fund, which are government controlled, government managed investment like LIC, other funding, etc. They will give you assured return. It's a good way of setting aside some portion of your money, which for yourself. I mean, this is for the employee. Provident fund is for the employee, which over time will accumulate and compound and be your retirement money or your emergency money. So I know it's a little different topic from a startup thing. I think it's very, very important.
Okay.
That all of you, I think there are some tools available online where you can check very small portion of your income or even your savings. If you start investing in whether it's bonds, whether it's shares, etc., have a diverse portfolio, you will be surprised how by the time if you start now, I'm assuming your student age group is what?
12 years to 18 years?
Start now.
Yeah.
Like literally every
Yeah.
month, whatever you are, start right away.
Okay.
Even if it's 50 rupees a month,
Wow.
even if it's 100 rupees a month. And I'm not saying put in a piggy bank or put in a savings. You should do
Invest.
some saving,
Yeah.
invest somewhere or the other. Safe investments, decent investments.
Hmm.
The way the power of compounding, you will see by the time you
Yeah.
are, if somebody is say 15 on average, and they start investing some money, and by the time they are 30, 35, and if they keep investing, and not just that amount, start with 50 rupees,
Incrementing.
100, and
Yeah.
keep incrementing based on your income levels, on your savings. You will be surprised. There are enough online calculators which
Yeah.
tell you, hey, if I invest say 1,000 rupees every month for 20, what will it become?
Huh.
That will really motivate everyone to save. Thumb rule, I would say, of your gross income, of your monthly income, if you have the ability to set aside 10 to 15% towards saving, that's great.
Wow, 10 to 15% is the average that.
Try to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, may not, whatever each one's circumstances are different,
Correct,
their expenses are different. We are not getting into that. But aim for that to start with, and you will be surprised how much what it can become.
Wow. My last question around this is, a famous thing of your episode was the salary that you all do. So how much should a founder draw salary when he's starting up?
So, good question. So, understand, when founders go to raise money, right, they will say, I'm making so much profit, etc. They never draw their own salary. But is that correct? Because, say I were to be replaced, somebody else has to take my place to run the business, right? Because people are not important, the business has to run, right?
Okay.
What would that person cost to run the business? So then, by drawing the salary which I deserve, or which this position deserves, I won't say this position deserves, I'm giving a true picture of the health of the business. Then I think, okay, this is what a business would take to run. So even if the founder is not there, say somebody comes and buys the entire business, somebody has to run it, right?
Yeah.
Now, who would it take? You require a certain kind of a person to run the business. Now, if you are not given the right salary, then your entire profitability, everything will take a hit because they never accounted for it. So, our take was that, yes, initially we didn't take this much. We went slow. You give your 1-2 years, you get, I'm not saying from day one you have to take, but provision for it. What's important is in your calculation, your projections, always provision for a lot of expenses which may not be there right now, or you choose not to incur those expenses, but provision for it to be able to come at that. You ask, right, what price should I sell something at? For example, you started a home business, घर से काम किया, रेंट नहीं लिया डे वन पे, पैसा फ्रेंड्स फैमिली पेरेंट्स से ले लिया, उसका आपने इंटरेस्ट नहीं लिया, अब खुद काम किया, उसका सैलरी नहीं लिया, करेक्ट? ये सब करने के बाद आप तो बोलोगे इतना इजी है, आई कैन सेल इट फॉर गुड मार्जिन और एट अ वेरी गुड प्राइस, बट have you taken into account your working capital cost, which is the interest, which could be whatever?
Correct.
Have you taken into account your own efforts? Have you taken into account the rent of the place, electricity, phone bill, helper? So all the expenses, while I'm not saying you have to incur from day one,
calculate it.
Keep it in your list. Hey, as this grows, one day when I move out of the house to a smaller office somewhere, I have to pay rent. I will take this much electricity. I will need a helper. What would be the helper's salary? I would need a salary at some point. I'll start with a small amount, then I will make it a little more and more.
Wow. This is a very good perspective for everybody who's there. मतलब investor को profitability दिखाने के चक्कर में we usually do these things, like we save money also, but in return we should actually keep a track of it, calculate it, इतने साल इतना ये XYZ.
No, I'm not saying do from day one. All I'm saying is yes, like you said, you work in your case, right? In my case, what we did, we started this business first from our family office. Okay. My dad's office. We took space, we had a fixed rent in mind. Okay, we are doing this business. This is the rent which is justified. We will not give you right away.
We'll give it over.
जैसे ही कमाओगे पैसा दे देना. So while you are being true to the business, at the same time you have somebody helped you, give you that life. And this is how it happens. That tomorrow somebody wants to come and say, hey, you know what, I'm starting out my business. Because a lot of things go running off it, right? The light, etc., infrastructure. If we have space, somebody comes and says, hey, you have empty space, can I use your office? We say, absolutely, why not? If it helps somebody get that little push, and this is how I think, especially in our families, I think this is how we all help each other out, and this is how it happens.
One last thing, if you were to give an advice to these kids, what is it that they should focus on in one thing that you feel that this is something that they should learn?
I think it's important that we all learn to be patient. It's very important. You have Shreyaan here, good success, good things he is doing at a young age, but still he has a long way to go. I
Absolutely.
think he realizes that he has a long way to go, and I don't think it's gone to his head. And he also knows that he may be doing great stuff, but nobody in the big scheme of things, and there's a lot to achieve yet. So do not let things go to your head and be patient. A lot of you may be classmates of Shreyaan, maybe his seniors, maybe his juniors.
Okay.
Just because he's come where he has, it doesn't mean anything as far as you're concerned. Your success could have come at 10,
Could have
it will
come.
come maybe 10 years later, 15 years later. It's fine. Just be true to and be honest to what you are doing, and it doesn't matter if you're, I guess some of you will be looking at for jobs, those who are in the early 20s. There will always be those cases you will hear, oh, this one got a package of 20 lakhs, 15 lakhs. And if you're not getting it, do not make that your benchmark. It's okay. Just keep working. आज नहीं, 4 साल बाद, 5 साल बाद, 2 साल बाद. Things may change, may not change. Just be at it, be patient, and things would be, things will be fine.
So just put your head down and just keep working again and again and again and again. And like how you said, for investing, you compound with it.
Yeah.
Same way your efforts then start compounding.
Interesting thing, right? I want to add this. The way things are moving so fast nowadays in terms of what works, industry is changing, so many things are happening, and who better to relate to it than you, your mom, who started your own future and now OLL. You're in the training business. The skills I'm sure that you were teaching 8 years ago, 10 years ago are obsolete now, and new things have come up. So what's more important is be ready to unlearn, ready to learn.
Adapt.
Ready to adapt, ready to learn. Abhi beech mein tha, after this whole coding thing and not during our time, now tools are taking over coding. So many things are happening. So be ready to learn. And actually, I wouldn't say be ready to learn. I'll say keep learning. Keep learning, keep training yourself. You wouldn't feel out of place, because the industry can change drastically.
Anything.
A lot of you probably don't even know. Have you seen VCDs, DVDs?
DVD.
Very few, right? It came and it went. After that came your SD cards and all. It's still there, pen drive. No, everything is online. Just to give you perspective, before that, there were audio cassettes, which were there for a good 50 years, right? DVDs didn't stay for that long. Pen drives didn't stay. I mean, they are there, but not used for that long. So the time span for these products, for skills, is reducing. So keep learning, keep training yourself, and you will do just fine.
Wow.